You ever have one of those nights where everything changes in a single blink and you don't even realize it until it's all over? That was the night I met Raina cold night a car crash, a burning wreck, and a couple words whispered through blood changed not just one life, but a dozen more, including my own. And I gotta say, if you told me at the start of that Tuesday that I'd ended hiding from bullets, running a sting operation, and falling in love with the woman who dragged me out of the fire, I'd have told you to cut back on the Netflix. Let me back up a sec. I was just driving home late from the office, nothing fancy. Just another night chewing over spreadsheets in my head when I see this luxury sedan ahead of me start fishtailing. I mean, I thought maybe the guy was drunk, but then he jerked right, tires screaming, and suddenly the whole car is tumbling down the embankment, landing in a mess of twisted metal and flames licking the hood. People freeze in moments like that. Not Raina. She jumped out of her Honda like it was nothing, grabbed a fire extinguisher and a knife, and sprinted straight into the fire. You know what I mean? Most folks would have called 911 and stayed back, but not her. She busted the window with her elbow, blood everywhere. Glass everywhere, then crawled inside that burning car, cutting the seatbelt and dragging me out just before the whole thing blew sky high. You ever see someone move like that, with zero hesitation? I didn't even know her name then. I only remember her face as the world spun smoke, flames, her voice yelling, "You're not dying on my watch." And honestly, it was like waking up in a new life. When the medics showed up and I finally caught a breath, I must have sounded out of my mind. Whispered, "It wasn't an accident, Alex did this." She looked at me like she knew exactly what I meant, even though neither of us had time to process it. I ended up in the ER, concussion, stitches, lucky to be alive. She found me there, asked how I was, and that's when I found out her name, Raina Cole, forensic data analyst, sharp as a tack. She'd been working cases like this for years, tracking financial fraud, catching liars with numbers. The moment I said Alex did this, she was hooked. Turns out, she's got her own history learned to fight back after a break-in college, promised never to feel helpless again. We hit it off in the weirdest way, two strangers pulled together by the worst kind of luck and the best kind of timing. So, I told her the truth. My business partner, Alex Martinez, charming, slick, always the face of the company, had been my friend for years, but lately, things had started to smell off. Money missing, weird payments to fake vendors, signatures forged. I'd started digging, and when I confronted Alex, he blew up. That night, my car malfunctioned. Brakes cut, steering locked. Yeah, that happened. I survived because Raina was there, and I was alive because she was stubborn enough to run into a burning car for a stranger. Next thing you know, we're plotting. Raina said she could help. She had the skills, she had the instincts, and maybe, just maybe, she had something to prove to herself, too. She came to the office with me, undercover as a consultant, scanning every face for tells. She clocked Alex right away, saw the flicker in his eyes when she said forensic investigation. She swept my office for bugs, grilled my assistant Sarah, who'd always seemed loyal, but who knew, and started pulling at the threads in the company's finances. You know that feeling when you realize the people you trust most might be the ones holding the knife? It's a cold, lonely kind of fear. Then came the twist. The evidence pointed to something way bigger than embezzlement. Not just Alex stealing a few million on the side, but an entire operation offshore accounts, fake companies, even stock purchases meant to crash the business and let a shell corporation swoop in. And wouldn't you know it, the company buying us out? Patterson Group, front for organized crime. Alex wasn't just a thief, was in deep with people who'd kill to keep secrets. We set a trap. Raina, Sarah, Jerome, our IT guy, who turned out to be a quiet hero, and me. We pulled the real records before Alex could doctor them, recovered deleted emails, even caught him on camera deleting evidence. And just in time, he called an emergency board meeting to frame me, paint me as the fall guy for his crimes, sell the company, and walk away clean. The board meeting was pure theater. Alex, with his lawyer face on, presented a spreadsheet showing me as the embezzler. The board was buying it until Raina plugged in her laptop and projected the truth. Emails, bank records, offshore payments, the whole ugly mess. Alex denied everything, of course, but it was too late. Then he snapped, said things like, You have no idea what you're interfering with. This is bigger than just us. And he ran, like every guilty man does. From there, things spun fast. Cops, FBI, Detective Santosa, real, hard-nosed woman. Thank God took our statements and launched a full investigation. Turns out, Alex had borrowed money from criminal loan sharks, lost control, and now they were using him to launder cash through company takeovers. It wasn't just us. Dozens of businesses have been gutted the same way. The standoff at the warehouse, the shootout on the pier, all that I still see it at night sometimes. Reyna, hands tied, facing down killers with nothing but attitude and a tactical knife hidden in her boot. I nearly lost her more than once. And Alex, yeah, he got shot, but he chose to help us in the end, gave us enough evidence to bring down the whole ring. Caruso, the mob boss behind the front, was taken down by the FBI, but not before threatening to take us all with him. You want a hot-heat ending? Here's what it looks like. Caruso in prison for life. The Patterson Group shut down, millions recovered, and every board member who doubted us forced to face the truth. Alex copped a plea devil served time, but not forever. Reyna and I rebuilt the company. Started a foundation to help other victims. Got married in the city park where it all began, surrounded by people who saw us not as victims, but as fighters who wouldn't let corruption win. People ask if I regret any of it. If I wish I'd never trusted Alex, never dug into the accounts, never ended up on that highway at midnight. But the truth? That crash was the best and worst thing that ever happened to me. Because of it, I met Reyna Simeon, who showed me what it meant to fight, to trust, to start over. 2 years later, we've got a daughter with Reyna's eyes and my stubbornness. A company that actually makes a difference and no more shadows hanging over our heads. And maybe that's the real twist, right? Sometimes the worst night of your life is the start of the best chapter. Sometimes the hero is just the person who refuses to walk away when things get hard, who jumps into the fire for a stranger, who digs for the truth when everyone else says, let it go. So, what do you think? Was it luck, fate, or just plain stubbornness that saved us? Would you have stopped for a burning car? Or would you have kept driving, hoping someone else would step up? Yeah, I want to know. Drop a comment below. Do you think justice is ever really served? Or do people just make their own luck in the end? Let's talk about it.